what they said to me, I can't repeat right now. And just feeling as a woman.
Yeah.
And I've never felt unsafe at night in New York. And it's throughout many
In this
parts
neighborhood
of the city.
here?
Yes. And
I'll tell you.
And you had Eric Adams on
Yeah.
recently, and I have so many issues with him.
Yeah.
And I'm bummed because it took a long time for Giuliani to clean this place up, and what a difference it was. And now, you know what? My kids, and they're 22, 20, they don't even want to come here now, Michael.
Really?
It has changed.
You know, this is what I'll say about New York. New York has always been flawed, okay? My wife has had stuff like that. I think the neighborhood where we're recording, in particular, is bad. And he knows that. Eric Adams knows that. Everybody in the city knows that. The sort of old Times Square, Union, Grand Central Station, it's bad. And it became more apparent to me when a friend of mine who's a legitimate tough guy says he takes the train in, and he was walking up, I think 41st between 8th and 9th, or 9th, 8th and 7th. And he's a tough guy. And he was like, yo, he was uncomfortable.
Yep.
And I was like, really? And I said, I haven't been over there. He goes, I'm telling you, it's fucked up. And he was kind of shook by it. But outside of this area that we're talking about, me personally, what I don't think it's any worse than it's been for New York. But I think this West Side, 7th Avenue, 8th Avenue, by the Garden, it's fucked up. And my wife has had, she's had some things too. Yeah, she said.
I'm sorry to hear that, you know, but this is where I end up hanging out because of work things.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I feel the difference right here.
I get it.
I still did it. Don't tell my mother. Like, I still did it because I love New York, and I love that feeling, and I love to hear and smell and see all of it. But it is different.
And you can't call it. I said to Eric Adams, I said, I said, when you can beat up a cop, and you ain't from this country, or you are from this country, you could be from Manhattan. When you could put your hands on a cop and then get out of jail the next day and get in front of the cameras, like Tupac when he got it, like, I'm like, you can't think this is the greatest city in the world. I am proud to be from New York. And I was asking about that, and he was like, you know, in the bail reform,
Nope.
Yo, you can't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able, if you breathe on a cop wrong, forget what you think about the cops, whatever. If you beat up a cop, you should be in jail until further notice.
Exactly. And that's why I've always loved the subway. I'm not going on the subway now. My daughter's friend witnessed the other day there was a push, and then there's another one witnessed it like a suicide. Like, it's insane. And so all of a sudden I'm like, no, I'm out. And I've never felt that way. Here's the thing. This is completely self-inflicted.
Yeah, I totally agree. They did it to themselves.
Right. And then you add, so the cop stuff, all that, but then you add all of the illegals. And this is what happens when from your little perch, Eric Adams and everybody else, you're bitching at Texas and Arizona for how they're handling, let's just not call them migrants, illegals.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
I agree.
The governor says, fine, you want some of that? Come get it. And now you're gonna complain. But now you're taking taxpayer money. Your taxes, aren't they high enough here? And you're handing them free money, and you're shutting down schools. And I have a really good friend up on the Upper West Side, beautiful neighborhood, and they had the soccer season completely canceled because there's tents all over the soccer fields. Like this, they have allowed the greatest city to not deserve that title
I agree.
anymore. So how do you fix it? Because if you have a mayor and a government that they're apologists.
It's Albany. Because I was asking him, he said it's Albany. Yeah.
Okay, well, again.
I agree. It shouldn't take me longer to go through TSA from Orlando to New York than it does somebody to get into the United States.
Yes. Yeah.
It should, like,
Free for all.
The Orlando TSA, you get jammed up at that airport.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It shouldn't be easier to get in the country than it should be for me to take a flight in first class with TSA
clear, yeah.
And, you know.
But guess what? Those people, you can say, you know, I'm asylum, whatever. I don't have a name, I don't have anything, but they're going to give you a ticket. You're paying $2,500 for that first class ticket from Orlando. So to me, that's my biggest issue.
I agree.
With the country, because it isn't just the cost and the inconvenience and how they've allowed New York to be borderline ruined again. It is the overall security. And you know what? It's easy because my kids today, you know, by the grace of God, are safe. But there's a lot of families right now, especially who live in some of those states, who are seeing the crime increase terribly, and then horrible crimes. There's dead people, dead women, dead girls. And so I just